I'm a little tired, but I figured I'd go ahead and just throw this out there for good measure. And this is basically just for men. It's not really for it was for men. This whole channel is based on. And you have this is something I want to deal with. A lot of women are on this tangent about the whole divine feminine thing, and I know that a lot of men are bothered by well, I won't say a lot of men. You have some men that are bothered by this whole trying to promote women over men and whatever. But I just want to put some things in perspective, just so that as men we understand, and we understand the need for balance. For everybody that's created on earth, there's duality. There's duality in everything we do. There's masculine and there's feminine, and that's in everybody. Um, One thing that I think is important to understand is that masculine and feminine is not male and female. And I think that's where a lot of people get things confused is they attribute feminine to female and masculine to males. But if you just look at people, there's a lot of women that are masculine women, masculine females, and you have some men that are feminine men. So, masculine and feminine is not about gender. Masculine and feminine is not even a gender, to be honest with you. Masculine and feminine is, I guess, the best way to put it would be a particular energy that a person may emit. Um, because feminine and masculine dealing with energy is not dealing with gender. It has nothing to do with what gender you are. There are feminine traits or feminine characteristics, and then there's masculine characteristics. And there are some things in every man that even if you have a man that's maybe has more masculine energy or more masculine traits, in certain cases when you see because and here's one of the primary things: emotions. An emotion, whether it be anger, whether it be whatever emotion, that comes from the feminine. It doesn't come from masculine. The protector, the guide, that's masculine, and you've seen those traits on both sides. And the thing that I just want men to understand is that rather than being upset with women trying to uplift the female, it's just to educate yourself. You need to understand that in everything there's masculine and feminine, and it's in everybody. So you can't allow the way some people think or their mindset trying to, because here's the thing. I think the reason why some men, I will say some men get upset is because they think that because some women have the belief that the feminine is greater than the masculine, that it makes it so. And it's just not true. Because the reality is everything that we see, everything that's created, nothing moves without both. If you don't have the masculine and the feminine that come together, you don't produce anything. You need both. The feminine can produce nothing in and of itself. The masculine can't produce anything of itself. It's a partnership, and it's called balance. And so, without understanding that in everything we do in life, balance is necessary. When you talk about some men don't have that caring, nurturing side to them. And I get it because we're men, we're more masculine. But even as a man, you have to at least be able to tell, your child. You can't even say I love you. You can't hug your child. You can't kiss your child. Because then if you're just so masculine that you have no feminine, then you're not balanced. And on the other side, you have some women that are so feminine that if someone is trying to harm their child or something, they'll take off running and screaming. You can't be so feminine that you have no masculine. Everything requires balance. Everything we do, all of our actions, everything needs balance. We have to be balanced in every aspect, of our life. Every aspect of our life has to be balanced. So don't get so caught up in the one is greater than the other. You need both. Um, Without a masculine and a feminine coming together, male and female, you don't produce children. You need the masculine, you need the feminine. Um, when we look at the sun is masculine and the moon is feminine. What if we had the moon all the time and we never ever saw the sun? That's unbalanced. Things will die. Things won't. The life that some things need, they won't have that sun's energy to grow. But what if all we had was just the sun? We have things that are not balanced there too. Our intuition comes from the feminine. Our go get it, our protection, that all comes from the masculine. Everything is about balance. So we need to make sure that whatever we do, whether we're dealing with our family life, whether we're dealing spiritually, everything is balanced. Nothing is one-sided. And there are some men that are more masculine heavy. You have some men that are more feminine heavy, more feminine dominant. You have some women that are more feminine dominant, some women that are more masculine dominant. But the reality is, no matter how much one side is more dominant, everybody has both. So there is no feminine greater than the masculine. You got divine feminine, what they call it, and you got divine masculine. They're both divine because they're both needed and they're both required. So, and the only way something can be greater is if the other thing is not needed. When you can take a feminine energy that no longer needs masculine for anything, then there's an argument to be made about, well, this is greater or this is more important. When a masculine energy can do whatever it needs to do by itself and no longer needs any feminine, then you can make the argument that that I'm the greatest and that masculine is the greatest and nothing else is needed. But until that day arrives and you can do it all yourself, as long as you need a partner, you might as well keep the whole greater than, less than, might as well keep it out your mouth because it has no place. I just kind of had that on my mind. A little tired, but I just kind of had this whole thing on my mind, seeing people arguing and debating and people upset and, women are trying to, and it's funny how women try to push feminine as if feminine means female and it does not. You have men trying to push masculine as if masculine means male and it does not. There's masculine, there's feminine, and neither one is all inclusive and in and of itself. So like I said, there's masculine, there's feminine. So don't think that just because you embody more of one than the other, that the other is not necessary. When you're unbalanced, things get off track. So always remember, stay balanced in everything we do. So all I had to say, just had to my mind. I'm out.